Greetings everyone. Myself Samyak Kasniwal, a member of the Media Club IIT BHU. Today we are pleased to have with us the esteemed COO of Google Cloud India, Mr. Udit Goyal. So with his numerous achievements and an exceptional inspirational educational background, Sir has been an inspiration for all of us today. Thank you for being here, sir.
Thank you.
So let's dive into our conversation. Sir, have you visited Varanasi before?
No, this is my first time today. I was really amazed to see the city the way it has been developed over the years.
So, sir, how has your experience been in Varanasi?
Amazing. I think I would say definitely. We always say that Bangalore traffic is a big issue, but today I experienced the Varanasi traffic also. But other than that, I think when I was coming through, I can see the city has a mix of both a vibe of an old city, the ancient heritage, as well as the vibe of a modernization that is happening across the city. Would love to see that. Although I can see the campus is really, really huge. Would love to be here. Yeah.
So, sir, let's dive into our questions. So, first question being, how is AI affecting businesses around the globe?
Okay, so before I answer this question, let's think about what AI is doing. If you remember a couple of decades back, when electricity invention happens, it is not that electricity had solved the problems. It's the people who build things on top of electricity that has changed the whole thing. Whether it's the tube light, whether it's a refrigerator, you can see a lot of applications coming in. I think AI is also some kind of technology which is in that range right now. I think it just started. If you think about the industry technology curve, right, we call it S curve. There are 3 stages of S curve. The first stage is where you say whether this technology is useful. Second stage is, yeah, it's exciting. And the third stage is, yeah, I think it's already reached saturation, now it's boring, right? So if you see the AI right now, the machine learning and the Gen AI part, I think machine learning has already reached the stage where they're saying, yeah, it's useful, but it's in that exciting phase. If I say about Gen AI, it is still in that early phase. Yes, we all are figuring it out how it can be more useful across industry, and that is where the stage we are. But one thing which I have seen, this AI, Gen AI technology that we are talking about, it is not limited to only tech players. It is cutting across different sectors. Now, if I talk about the different industries, what is the impact that AI is doing? I would say there are mainly 3 areas where AI is really driving a bigger impact. The first is, it is democratizing the access and enhancing the human capabilities. Let me tell you what I mean by that. Of late, in the last couple of years, I think when I was also graduating, right? If you think about digital, we also have a digital divide in this country and across the world too. Whenever we say we have a new technology, people have to learn technology to use the technology or get the best use of that. But if you think about it right now, what AI is doing, technology is understanding you. They're reaching you. Imagine right now UPI, we all talk about the kind of transaction that is happening on UPI, 12 billion, I think transactions happening every month. But even then, the contribution of UPI is only 10% right now. The digital has not penetrated the tier 2, tier 3, or I would say rural places. So what we want is just to make sure how AI can make it happen. Imagine your grandfather is using voice to do a transaction. That is a transaction the person knows. You still see in small cities, I saw the Varanasi railway station also, there's a lot of queue outside the reservation center. Why people are still going on the counter and what they do, they just book the tickets. I need this ticket from this station or this station. Actually, they're only conversing in natural language. Now, what AI can do, it can break that barrier. Everybody would be able to use that by sitting at their home. So they can do those transactions which a lot of people are not able to do right now. And the other piece which is happening really, really well is enhancing the human capabilities. I'll take you a simple example. A lot of small cities or towns or rural places in India, we don't have enough qualified doctors, right? Now, if let us say I'm a patient, I'm feeling like a chest pain. I go to a doctor. Doctor is a normal, I would say a GP or some kind of a different specialty that they have. They're not a qualified cardiologist. Many times what happens is many of those doctors don't have a full qualification to even decode an ECG. So even this patient has a chest pain. Now this doctor is not able to decode whether it's a chest pain or is it really some kind of acidity. Now imagine if this AI can help even to give a positive signal or positive or negative alert that this patient can be a candidate for some kind of a cardiology intervention, then they can do that. So what I have seen is at least this technology is kind of breaking those digital divide barriers. That's the first piece. The second area where we are seeing a great application of AI is how it is revolutionizing all the industries. It is not limited to one industry. For example, if I talk about the media industry, now we are talking about players asking us that how can we automate, use AI to create a background music. Imagine the movie that you are producing tomorrow or a TV serial that you're talking about. The background scores can be easily done by AI. I think you can see the impact of that's happening in the industry. Similarly, if I talk about, let's say, healthcare industry, a lot of doctors are being assisted through the technology to diagnose their patient or create a discharge summaries. So if I talk about the impact of this AI, it is not limited to only one industry, it is going across all the industries. I think I already mentioned about the fintech industry case. And the third area, I think, which is I would say the most critical piece from an AI perspective, which is changing, is how is improving the productivity and the creativity of consumers, which is all of us, right? Gone are the days where you write mail and checking it 5-10 times on what to do. Now you just write a one draft, give it to AI technology, they will do it for you. You want to post something on your social media, you're still not sure whether this post will get a better likes. You give it to a AI tool and they will be able to help you. I think we have all those technologies available to us. So I think what will happen in the future, these technologies are going to help us to improve our productivity and creativity so that we can do a much better job of whatever performance that we are doing right now. Okay?
So my follow-up question is that how Google is helping using AI? How is Google helping businesses using AI?
So at Google, our vision is to make AI helpful to each and every organization in the world. That is our uber vision that we have. And we strongly believe that the future of AI is open. When I say open, means really open, right? That's where I think we fundamentally believe. And if you really want to help startups, especially I think since we are setting in IIT BHU, more around the early stage startups, how Google is helping. So there are three areas where generally Google helps. First is giving you access to infra, kind of democratizing the infra. Because if you really want to build some AI startup, you still need an access. Otherwise, you can't really build those high-end technologies. So at Google Cloud, what we have done, we have opened these platforms. It doesn't matter whether you're using Gemini model or whether you're using the OpenAI model or whether you're using other models, right? We are making sure that a developer or a startup entrepreneur can build models on that infrastructure, can use the models that are available, right? That's the first piece. The second piece is we strongly believe that in responsible AI. We strongly believe in responsible AI. So whenever startups are building, we also want to make sure that these startups are building things which are very responsible from a society perspective. So we are making sure all the guardrails that you require platform is enabling you for that. So that's the first piece, giving you an access. Second piece is if I am a startup, I want to start today. What is the biggest barrier? I don't have funds to really use the infra. Even if I give you infra, you need funds, right? So we have a lot of new programs that we have launched just to help startups in their journey so that these barriers to experiment should be removed. For example, if you are a fresh startup, right, just started from the college and you just started or registered your company, we give a lot of credits to these customers or at least the early stage startups. So we give around 1.5 lakh Google Cloud credits to any startup which is getting registered. Similarly, once startups moves in their journey, sometimes they get funded, then we have a lot of different programs where we give them credits up to $100,000, which is 80 lakh rupees credits that we give, cloud credits. Similarly, since Google I'm talking about, I'm not talking about only Google Cloud. We have other products of the Google which also we offer to startups. Many startups are B2C startups, D2C brands. So they want customer acquisition. So we give them free ad credits. A lot of startups are playing in the space of logistics. So they need Google Maps support. So we give them Maps API support, $600 per month for at least 1 year. So we have a lot of offering that we give to these startups so that they can start and those barriers will be removed. And the third piece is more around the skilling. See, AI is a very new technology. So we need to make sure that how students and the young entrepreneurs are learning this technology. So we have launched a new program called Innovate, where a lot of innovators program, where a lot of students, young entrepreneurs can just sign it and avail all the learning courses available from Google from a Gen AI perspective. So you can get access to those courses. Plus, we are talking to your college also. I met a professor today in the afternoon. So we are trying to work out some kind of programs where we can give you access to a lot more training courses that we can do, apart from the industry interaction.
So, what was the most valuable lesson that you have learned during your journey?
perseverance. I think that's something which stays with me right when I was studying in Aligarh, moved to Delhi. I think there's something which I've seen, it stays with you whether you are in college, whether you are in any company, or whether you are an entrepreneur. There's one thing which stays with me all the time. If you don't have perseverance, then you will have challenges some part of your career or your whatever personal or professional journey that you're talking about. That's the one word I would say.
So, you had made a switch from software engineering to management roles. So, what was the motivation behind the switch?
Okay, let me give you this answer in two ways. One is, I come from a business background family. You might have seen from my surname, right? I come from a business background family. When I was growing up, business conversations right there. I've grown up in those conversations. All the dinner conversations, lunch conversations are all about business, how much profit we are making, how much revenue we got. That's a conversation I have grown up. But technology was my passion. So that's why I studied computer science, right? So I would say when I was in the software side of things, initially few years of my career, one thing which I was missing, right, that developing products and customers are using it, but somewhere in the software we were far away from the customers, right? So we were doing something and we were developing it, but generally what customers want or what customers like, I think that is something which we are very far away, the way software development works. So during my transition through software, I think I took up an additional assignment where I said to my CEO that let me go and accompany you for meeting some customers. So I started doing that. The more I met customers, right, then I realized that what is the gap? Even in my own understanding, whatever as a techie we feel that this will work, but customer has something else in mind. So I think that's something which triggered an idea in my mind that I need to be more closer to customer and I need to get more and more customer and business insight. Sometimes as a techie we love innovation so much that we make something which may not have a business appeal. And we feel so good about it that we have solved it. But actually when you go in the market, customer doesn't value it. So I thought, let me bridge that gap to hone those skills. That is where I think I went for my MBA, moved that switch to make sure that how I can bring the balance. Now coming back, I told you that business is something which I was growing. That's my DNA, and technology was my passion. So I think in Google at least I can satisfy both the things. That's where I am right now.
So, academically also you were excellent at your time. So would you like to give some suggestions to students who are studying right now?
See, academic excellence matters, but only to a point. Okay? Because if you go further in your career, it doesn't matter how good you are academically. Right? It doesn't define your career. It's all about what you do at that time. So I think as long as you're sincere to what you're doing, even in academics, if you're sincere, you will do well. It doesn't matter then you need to be in the top merit holders. As long as you're sincere about what you are studying, I think that's enough. The marks doesn't matter. As long as you're sincere, you're learning. Same thing applies when you are actually working in the organization. If you're sincere about what you're working or you're owning those things that you have been asked to work on, you have that ownership mindset, what you call it in the industry today. I think that matters more in my opinion. It's not different as long as you're sincere about it.
So, lastly, would you like to convey a message for the entrepreneurs in the E-Summit of IIT?
Yeah, I think I met a lot of folks here today, and one thing I would definitely see a lot of energy. I can see a lot of people talk about AI, right, which is good to see, and they're talking about solving new problems. So one thing I can say, our country is a billion population with billion problems or with billion opportunities, right? So wherever you go, you can find a way to solve some problems. Look at those niche problems. Start small, but think big. Okay, I think that's one thing definitely I would say. Second thing is I think I mentioned about perseverance. If you really want to become an entrepreneur, then that is one skill you definitely need to have. Otherwise, you will see the kind of roadblocks that you will see in your journey. Whatever you thought something will change in the future. That's the second piece I would say. And third piece I would say, whatever it is, doesn't matter whatever journey you are taking. Be humble, and I think as our one of our alumni said that stay hungry, stay foolish. That's what I would say.
Thank you.